Success isn't always loud. It doesn't always come with applause, cheers, or recognition. In fact, the most significant breakthroughs often happen when no one is watching. Power isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the quiet moments, the times when you're working silently, grinding behind the scenes, and pushing forward without anyone knowing. The world sees the result, the victory, the achievement. But what they don't see are the countless hours of effort that went into it. They don't see the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices you make, or the battles you fight with yourself to keep going. Those moments, the quiet ones, are where your strength is forged. Think about a tree. Above the surface it looks strong and towering, but its real strength comes from its roots, the deep, unseen foundation that anchors it through storms. Your quiet moments are your roots. They're the foundation of your power, the unseen work that prepares you for the challenges ahead. When you're alone, that's when the real work begins. That's when you confront your doubts, silence your fears, and decide to keep going even when it feels like no one cares. Those moments are not glamorous, but they're necessary. They're what set you apart from the rest. The truth is, anyone can show up when the crowd is cheering. Anyone can perform when the stakes are high and all eyes are on them. But real power is proven in the moments when no one is watching, when it's just you, your goals, and your willpower. It's easy to slack off when no one is holding you accountable. To say, "I'll do it later," or "one day off won't hurt." But the ones who succeed are the ones who show up even when they don't feel like it. The ones who do the work, day in and day out, no matter how mundane or repetitive it feels. Because success isn't built on grand gestures. It's built on small, consistent actions. It's built on the decisions you make every single day. The decision to push yourself a little harder, to learn something new, to practice even when you're tired. These small actions might seem insignificant at the moment, but over time, they add up. They build momentum. They create power. In those quiet moments, discipline is your best friend. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you moving. It's what gets you out of bed when you'd rather hit snooze. It's what makes you stick to your routine even when you're tempted to quit. Discipline is doing the work, not because someone is watching, but because you made a commitment to yourself. It's showing up for yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely. Because you know that every rep, every hour, every small step you take brings you closer to your goal. And that's where real power comes from. Not from what others see, but from what you do when no one is looking. It's in those moments when you could choose to quit, but decide to keep going instead. We live in a world that celebrates the loudest voices. Social media, for example, is filled with people showcasing their victories, their successes, their best moments. But what you don't see are the hours they spent working for those wins. You don't see the failures, the struggles, the doubts they faced along the way. Don't let the noise of the world distract you from your journey. Don't compare your quiet moments to someone else's highlight reel. Their victories might be public, but their work was done in private, just like yours. It's in the quiet moments where you're truly tested, when there's no one around to cheer you on or hold you accountable, when it's just you and the work. That's when your power is built. That's when you grow stronger. Power isn't about doing something extraordinary once. It's about doing ordinary things consistently. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting the process. Think about an athlete training for a marathon. They don't just wake up one day and run 26 miles. They train for weeks, months, even years, building their endurance one step at a time. Most of that training happens in solitude, without fanfare or recognition. But it's that consistency, that quiet, steady effort, that prepares them for race day. Your journey is the same. Every step you take, every small action you commit to, builds your power. It might not feel like much in the moment, but over time, those small steps lead to massive progress. The quiet moments aren't something to dread, they're something to embrace. They're your opportunity to grow, to reflect, and to strengthen yourself. They're the moments where you build the skills, the discipline, and the resilience you need to succeed. Think about the times when you felt the most proud of yourself. Chances are, those moments didn't come from the applause of others. They came from knowing you did the work, from knowing you pushed through the hard times, from knowing you didn't give up, even when no one was there to see it. The quiet moments are where you prove to yourself what you're capable of. They're where you learn to trust yourself, to believe in your abilities, and to keep going, no matter what. When the world doubts you, the quiet moments are where you rise. When you face setbacks, the quiet moments are where you rebuild. When you feel like giving up, the quiet moments are where you find your strength. Power isn't something that's given to you, it's something you build. And it's built in the moments when no one else is watching. So, the next time you find yourself alone, working in silence, remember that this is where the magic happens. This is where your power is forged. It might not feel like it now, but every small step you take, every ounce of effort you give, is building something incredible. You won't see the results overnight. You might not even see them for weeks or months. But if you keep showing up, if you keep putting in the work, the results will come. And when they do, you'll look back and realize that the quiet moments were the most important part of your journey. Because power isn't built in the spotlight, it's built in the quiet moments. And those moments, they're yours.